going on, everyone? It's wine o'clock. I'm your host, Juleen, and this is what's going down in the PM.
It's March 25th. I'm fighting the patriarchy one fuck you at a time, and I am not acting like a lady. So today's weather forecast is partly cloudy with a high of 72 degrees and a low of 67 degrees. So, at least we're getting cool down from last week. The southern United States is seeing a heat up of 94 degrees. So it is hot as balls out there, y'all. Stay inside if you can. But they're also seeing a low of 45 degrees. So, maybe ride out the heat in the AC and then, or in a swimming pool and then, go outside when it cools down a little bit. Northern United States is seeing a high of 67 degrees with a brick low of 30 degrees for the New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania area. Sorry, guys. It's going to be snowing out there, unfortunately. But what are you going to do? You can't avoid it. So if I were you, I'd break out those puff jackets and snow boots because it's brick out there. I don't always leave my house in the snow, but if I absolutely cannot avoid it, I order Instacart instead. Stay warm, my friends.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Today is your birthday. Today is your birthday. Today is your birthday. We're singing hip, 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 hooray. Today is your birthday. Today is your birthday. Today is your birthday. We're gonna shout it out loud and celebrate today.
I want to scream a huge happy birthday to legendary rock star Elton John. We got Big Sean, Casey Neistat, the godfather of YouTube videos. He's the reason for the season. Because of him, YouTubers can now make money and be absolute fucking movie stars. Shout out to Casey Neistat. Ellie Michalka, you'll remember her from, I believe she was in Scrubs. I'm not tripping. I totally think she was in Scrubs. Danica Patrick, producer Ryan Lewis, and basketball player Kyle Lowry, and Sarah Jessica Parker. And happy birthday in heaven to Aretha Franklin. And a special birthday shout out to the highest profiles of birthdays. Happy birthday to Nydia from the Crime Diner. Enjoy your day, girl. Happy birthday. Here's what's going down in TV land. Here are the TV premieres. Today we got Pachinko premiering on Apple TV, Bridgerton on Netflix, Tomorrow on Netflix, Great Performances, The Conductor on PBS, Transformers Bots on Netflix, Therme Rome Nove on Netflix, I guess. I think that's the way it's pronounced. My bad if it's not. On Monday we got Independent Lens, Riding with Fire on PBS. Tuesday, Mighty Express on Netflix. Girl from Plainsville on Hulu. Moon Knight on Wednesday, March 30th. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I am going to be tuning in to this right here. I am so geeked for this. So, Moonlight premieres Disney Plus, and I am all the way down for it. Wild Abandon premieres on Netflix. Thursday, Julia premieres on HBO Max. How We Roll on CBS. Fairly Odd Parents, Fairly Odder on Paramount Plus. I cannot believe that this is still a thing after all this time. So, okay, go ahead, Fairly Odd Parents, for still doing your thing after forever. So here's what's going down in the movies. We've got the movie that I have been waiting to see since I saw it in the theater like a couple weeks ago, The Lost City. Why? Not because it's going to be a cinematic masterpiece, but because my girl Sandy Bullock is in it. So I need to see this movie. Here's the trailer.
3, 2, 1. Here's a trailer for the Lost City.
Here's a trailer for The Lost City.
Screw you, man.
You led me straight to the Lost City. Now, prepare to die.
There are just hundreds of snakes in this temple just waiting for us to show up.
What? Why aren't they biting that guy?
This is ridiculous. Delete. Delete. Delete.
Listen, Loretta, we need you to promote your new book on the Lost City. You can't spend your life in the bathtub drinking Chardonnay with ice.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world's sexiest cover model, Dash McMahon!
You do know you're not Dash, right? Dash is a character I made up. Dash! Oh my god. Oh, crap.
Miss Sage, I enjoyed your book about the Lost City, and I believe you're the one who can help me find its treasure.
I have to respectfully decline.
I'm afraid I must insist.
Unchain me!
That's your seatbelt.
Loretta Sage is missing.
I'm gonna rescue her. I just want her to think of me as more than a cover model.
Start living dangerously.
Alan? What are you doing here?
We're here to save you. I'm certified CPR, I'm certified CrossFit. I have snacks.
After them!
This is like your book. We're on a Lovemore and Dash adventure right now. I'm gonna help you out a little bit. Let's go.
What are you doing? Don't do that.
Go.
Oh
Come
god,
on.
get out of there. This is not a romance novel. Jungles eat people like us.
Ah, what is that? Get it off.
Just give me a
Please.
second.
I can
Just
feel him
stop speaking. Please
sucking
stop
my
speaking. Just stop
soul.
speaking.
Ripper like a bandit. Don't make that sound. Feels like there's more.
Holy mother of
more?
God.
They're just sucking on my butt like a big old Jamba Juice.
We're so close. I could actually find the Lost City.
If I don't get to this island, my friend and her cover model are going to die.
I am driving. Oh!
Loretta Sage, getting you out of here.
Why are you so handsome?
My dad was a weatherman. Hey, whoa, she doesn't need saving in there.
Okay.
What are you doing in there?
So it says here, brilliant but reclusive author Loretta Sage, that's the person that Sandy Bullock plays, spent her entire career writing about exotic places in her popular romance adventure novels, and cover model Alan, which is Channing Tatum, has dedicated his life to embodying the hero character Dash. While into promoting the new book, with Alan, Loretta is kidnapped by an eccentric billionaire, Daniel Radcliffe. It's gonna be weird seeing him not as Harry Potter, but I'm okay with this. Who hopes that she can lead him to the ancient Lost City's treasure from her latest story, wanting to prove that he can be a hero in real life and not just on the pages of her books. Alan sets off to rescue her. Thrust into an epic jungle adventure, the unlikely pair will need to work together to survive the elements and find the ancient treasure before it's lost forever. We got Brad Pitt, Channing Tatum, Sandra Bullock, Daniel Radcliffe, Oren Uziel, Bowen Yang, Seth Gordon, Oscar Nunez. So I will be in the theater this week watching that movie. Why? Because my girl's in it. You gotta support your homegirl, and she's my friend in my head. She doesn't know we're friends, but we're friends. Shout out to Sandra Bullock. It's an action comedy, and it is now available nationwide. So here's what else is in the theaters: Infinite Storm, Soul Cold the River, Topside, You Are Not My Mother, 7 Days, Immortal Soul, The Duke, Mothering Sunday, Stunt Rock, Jane by Charlotte, RRR.
I saw everything.
Now, today on I Saw Everything, I went to go see Amal with Sandra Oh. Now, if you look at the trailer, like you know this is not like an Oscar-winning masterpiece or anything. But you know what? I was really excited because the draft up said it was like a Korean horror film. And I was all the way down because Sandra Oh never disappoints. Ever. From when she was in Killing Eve, also when she was in Grey's Anatomy. I really enjoy her body of work. And this is written and directed by Iris K. Shim. From what I can see, it seems to be her first feature-length film. So, again, I was not expecting greatness, but I was expecting to be entertained. So here's the draft up says Amanda and her daughter live on a quiet American farm. When the remains of her estranged mother arrive from Korea, Amanda becomes haunted by the fear of turning into her own mother. Now, while most of us are haunted by the fear that we'll start acting like our parents, which is a legit fear. It's a legit fear that we cannot escape. We all turn into our own parents at some point or another. Sorry, not sorry. But let's talk cinematography. I usually give like 2 points for cinematography. I did not give this film any points for cinematography because I saw some stock footage there. There were stock pictures and there was stock film there. So I took both points off, and the mom ghosty thing was like a puppet. It alternated between like a puppet and a person, and you can tell which was which is why I took points off of that. The farm had some interesting set pieces, so I gave it 2 points for set pieces. So, because like the whole thing where she's in like the bathtub, and like they do the whole thing where she's afraid of the electricity, nobody has electricity, and like you think she really has some god awful disease. And like with the old school bathtub, the scene with the old school bathtub, and then the lights flickering when the daughter turns on the lights. It was really cool, and it paid off because come to find out, her estranged mother actually, spoiler alert. So turn it off if you plan on going to see it, but if not, keep on listening, y'all. Or you can leave, come back in like 5 minutes. So come to find out, the estranged mom was like burning her with the electrical cord because her father, she became so miserable in America that the father that she loved and moved to America for left her. And then she became all bitter and started taking it out on Sandra Oh's character, who would get burned by the electrical cords. So as an adult, she kept all the electricity off. She said she had like a horrible disease. And I found all the scenes where she's like soothing her skin and doing all the things to avoid electricity, like very cool. The farmhouse in general was a really cool set. Like it really set the scene. They even had chickens. The attention to detail on the farm was impressive. So I gave the set pieces 2 points. Performance, I only gave 1 because Sandra Oh was brilliant as usual. The jump scares, everything, like you 100% believed that she was scared out of her mind and abused as a child and traumatized. The only reason I took 1 point off for performance was because the daughter, the actress that played the daughter, she was not great. Like her line delivery was it was terrible. It was like, oh my God, Mom, what secret are you keeping from me? When I can leave, you can keep all your secrets to yourself. And she seemed nervous, or like, she seemed like really nervous in this performance. So I took 1 point off for the performance because usually one actress would not cost a whole point out of like 2 points, but because she was one of the only 2 people we saw on screen the most. It was just her and Sandra Oh that we saw on screen throughout most of the film. There was a romantic interest plus like a friend that we see briefly, maybe for a total of 5 minutes on the screen, but 90% of the film was Sandra Oh and the girl who plays her daughter, and the daughter didn't really deliver the lines in a believable way. So I took 1 point off. So cinematography, I gave no points. Performance, I gave 1 point. Screenplay, it was a good screenplay. Honestly, I really liked it. So I gave 2 points for the screenplay. And then 2 points for the set pieces. The costumes, I thought they were all right. Like, I didn't see anything wrong with the costumes. So, 2 points for costumes. So 2, 4, 6 plus 1. So I guess I'm giving this film a 7 cracked urns out of 10, I guess. I was going to give it a 5, honestly. But then when I look at my scoring rubric, I'm like, yeah, I guess. I can't score it a 5 off the fact that I did not appreciate certain things of the film, like the stock footage in it. So, yeah. 7 broken urns out of 10. And the CGI fox with the multiple tails, I feel like that's becoming it's becoming a cliche thing at this point, because you see it all the time, and it was not even good CGI, y'all. So I guess that speaks to cinematography. Now, you know what? My rubric is a nice guideline, but I think more points should be taken off. No, you know what? I will stick to my 7 broken urns out of 10 because, I guess it wasn't that bad. So next up, I'm chopping it up with my boys from Film Rage.
It's time to feel the rage. Join us on Film Rage, where we talk movies, current releases, coming attractions, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors, beware as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim.
Hey.
And Murray.
Yo. Why is it you always talk all the time? I can't
'Cause I
understand
got
why
this
your
sweet,
voice
sweet
is so...
voice.
This is the merman, the voice of reason. These two can't agree on anything most of the time. Some movies are Armando, some are just... Every week something is going to make us rage. Join us every Wednesday and...
Feel the rage.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, my special guest from Film Rage Podcast. Welcome, welcome. Let's give him a round of applause. All right, and I was just saying how, oh God, I have no makeup on. I had to choose between good lighting and good audio and video. So I chose the video and the audio over the lighting. I have my ring light here, but I have no dongle. So I'm just saying, if you want to hit up that Patreon or buy me a coffee, I could totally buy a dongle. Just saying. Then I can have the trinity of excellent lighting, great camera, and a great microphone. But for now, listen, I don't look half bad. My New Year's resolution was to stop coming on camera looking crazy. But I don't have makeup on today. I don't have makeup on today, but it's all good. So introduce yourself to my listeners and tell me about you. It's wine o'clock, y'all.
Oh yeah, hold on. It's pineapple time.
Yes, I love the cup.
I used to be a Starbucks junkie. It's Jim from 1/3 of the podcast Film Rage. I am a podcaster. I've been doing this for over 2 years now. 2 years and a month. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Okay. What made you want to start podcasting? Tell us about your podcast and your co-hosts.
Yes. Well, we are a film review podcast. Our focus is on new release films. So when we started the podcast, I'll tell a bit of a prequel to that. But when we're gonna start the podcast, our focus has always been on new release films, and it seemed like a lot of film podcasts are more focused on bringing up films that people have already seen. And a lot of people like that because they've seen the film, they've seen it, so they know what to talk about, and they enjoy that. For us, we're very driven by new film. In fact, all three of us are heavily involved with the film industry and also with film festivals. So we attend multiple film festivals throughout the year where you get films before they even get released into normal cinemas. So that's how we kind of became friends, is all through film festivals in our little city of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So
Hey.
we
shout out to Canada.
Woot woot, go Canada.
Believe it or not,
Olympics is
Canada
starting.
actually listens to It Goes Down in the PM. I've charted there twice, so I'm hoping season 4 I'll make it back.
I listen every time, so you should always have one from Alberta. So
yes, thank you so much.
yeah. So how we started was festival season, and Murray, who's our engineer and producer, him and I have been best friends for many, many years. And Bryce had always been someone that had attended the film festivals, but we never really kind of knew him. And then we started becoming friends through the festivals because we kind of forced our way into his life. At least that's what he says. We forced our way into his life. So it was after a late night movie. And, this was when I was still, working and waking up at like 6 every morning. And the movies were getting out at like 2 a.m. So we were like exhausted. And there was this one film that we got out, and there was probably 20 of us. I call us filmies because there's a bunch of people that kind of hang out at the festivals. And Bryce and me just started discussing this film, and we probably discussed it for about an hour, and we were just riffing off each other, and we literally talked about this film for an hour. And then we kind of looked up and looked around. There was probably 20 people around us watching us talk about the movie. And then somebody in the group said, you guys should start a podcast because that was pretty entertaining. So we're like, okay. And then that
So,
was the birth of Film Rage.
what movie?
Oh God, I can't even remember now. Like we watch on average, like on our podcast, we try and get through probably 500 films a year that we put into our podcast. So I, I probably watch anywhere between 2 and 3,000 movies a year. So as Bryce does as well. So it's, I can't remember yesterday, well, what it was 4 years ago, but it was obviously something controversial because Bryce and I don't always agree on everything. It was probably a horror movie if I remember. So
I love
yeah.
horror movies. So tell me, okay, so you watch about 500 thousands of movies a year. What do you feel? Give me 3 films. One that you feel changed the game for film, for in terms of cinematography. One that broke glass ceilings for screenplays, and one that changed the way sex scenes are filmed. One that kind of broke the theater in terms of like sex scenes, or changed the way people think about sex scenes.
Wow. Those are good questions. I would say the sex one probably was Last Tango in Paris, because if you've seen the uncut version, there is a scene with a stick of butter that, in the time, it's one of Marlon Brando's films. And it's something, I mean, it's not porn, but I mean, as I guess, a cinematic release through regular channels, it probably changed the concept of what sex scenes in film would look like, I would say.
Okay, okay.
So if you haven't seen it, I would say put it on your and see if you can get the uncut version, because the cut version, it's just kind of ruined. Cutting films is a terrible thing to do, and we need to see it in its raw directorial cut. Otherwise, you're not going to get the full feel of it. So I would say that would be the sex scene for me. Cinematography, wow. Um, I want to say Wizard of Oz. Actually, I want to go way back. I think when you go back to the 30s and you see what was being put on film, and you can imagine where majority of people went to the theaters and all they saw was black and white, or it wasn't that far before that where things were silent films. It's not obviously the first film that was shot in color, but imagine that you're sitting in a movie theater and you start watching a movie in black and white, and you're like, oh, okay, this is one of the movies that's in black and white. And then they land in Oz, and the color saturation of that film, seeing it live in cinema for the first time, would probably fucking blow somebody's mind. It would be like, what am I actually seeing right now? Keeping in mind that black and white TVs were still a thing until the 70s, right? So imagine sitting in the cinemas thinking you're going to see black and white and you see color for the first time. I think that film is mind blowing, even to this day.
So, Wizard of Oz.
Yep.
I I really enjoyed that movie. Um, I read the books first though, so like
Yeah.
that kind of changed the lens that in which I looked at the movie.
Hmm. Yeah, you to your point. It's hard to read a book and then see a movie afterwards because it never really does it justice. Those books are amazing and they're classics, right?
Yeah.
I did it the other way. I saw the film first. It used to be like one of our Christmas go-to films every year, and when I was growing up,
Oh,
that
no
was one of our
way.
Christmas
Okay, that's
movies.
cool.
Yeah, it always seemed to be on at Christmas. Like people are home uh, with their families, and so it always seemed to come on TV. So yeah, Loved it. And sorry, what was the last one? Glass Ceiling 4?
Just for screenplays, like as far as like the script goes, what script do you feel broke the glass ceiling in a way that should be recognized and honored and will, for you, forever go down in history as like that screenplay that changed every screenplay?
Wow. That's tough because there's some films that are screenplays where the screenplay or the writing is outstanding, but maybe the directorial vision is not that as great, and sometimes the acting isn't good. But you know what? I'm gonna share my favorite film that I saw last year. So I could pick something weight from the past, but I'm going to the most recent. I saw a film last year that I've never been as emotionally charged as I was seeing this movie. It made my top 10 of 2021. And on Film Rage, we have one award that we give away every year, or we started it anyway. And it could be an actor, it could be a film, it could be the lighting, it could be the sound, whatever. We only give one award away. And my award went to the movie Flea, which is an animated documentary. And for whoever hasn't seen that film, it literally, I got out of the cinema and I literally cried for 30 minutes straight. I could not control my emotions. It literally almost broke me, that film.
Oh my god.
So yeah, it was, and actually it was funny because Bryce and I went and saw it together. We are obviously often in the theaters together, and like he literally kind of put his arms around me and he said, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I couldn't even talk. This is how powerful this story was to me. So, and that's never happened to me in any film. I've never been able to not
Now, is it Flee
like run away,
oh, like
not
Run
flee
Away?
as in
Okay.
yeah, yeah. The film is about an Arab boy who is and it's um, he has to flee his homeland because of what's happening in a war-torn country. It's based on a true story. It's a documentary, but it's an animated documentary,
Oh, wow.
and it comes in and out of discussion with him, as well as like his actual voice telling the story, and it's got an animated feature. But at the same time, you find out that he's gay, so he's got these two things that weigh so heavy on him, and it's just it's so well done, and it literally it'll sit with me for the rest of my life.
How do they deal with, one issue overshadowing the other, I wonder? Because in the hierarchy of needs, wouldn't finding yourself in a safe place to just live, eat, sleep, like overshadow and like over just be more of a priority than coming to terms with your sexuality? I mean, but I mean, coming to terms with your sexuality and living openly and honestly is important. Please do not misquote me. It's just that, being in a safe place to live and finding food and surviving seems like it would be more of a priority. How do they deal with that balance?
Yeah, it's done. It's done so well. It's so well because you get inside a character. I'm a very character driven person. So for me, I could watch like the absolute worst movie, but if they developed a character that makes you love them, makes you hate them, that the character is so powerful that you get inside it. This film, if you saw this film, and I'm, as you and I know each other. I'm a big supporter of the LGBTQ community. I have a lot of friends that are gay. I have a lot of friends that are trans, and so I'm a huge supporter of it. But I can imagine other people seeing this. This would be a movie to watch with somebody if you wanted to come out. It would be that type of movie as well. But at the same time, and you know this, you've told me this before. of being judged for your race. So the fact that this film also takes you down this journey of acceptance for his race and for his sexuality is just done so brilliantly well.
Would you say
So
it's
brilliant.
a statement on intersectionality of, you know, of marginalized communities?
It does, yeah. I mean, it's a lot about the marginalized communities, and specifically about, there's a push, and you see it a lot in first world countries like we live in, where you see the judgment of people. Like, I don't know how many times I've heard people say, oh well, this is Syria's problem. Why are we worried about it? But we're all humans on this earth
Oh
together,
Lord.
and the people from Syria don't get. There's not their choice. They didn't want to go to war. I have friends that are Syrian that I've known for years, and they've said, I loved where I lived. I'd move back there tomorrow
Yeah.
if I could, and I could live safely and they didn't want any of this to happen. So it really takes you through those journeys to be able to people to watch this, to say, I get this. I get what it's like for this family.
I'm not heavily political on the show, you know this, but I'm like
Yeah,
heavy
yeah.
eye roll to people who say that, because the first thing out of their mouth is, we got to take care of our homeless veterans and this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, listen, don't use me as an excuse to be an asshole. You're being an asshole all by yourself. Don't use me as an excuse, because I'll always respond. And how many homeless people have you given money to? Look twice at, given food to. Don't use homeless veterans as a platform to
Yeah.
just to be a dick. Just don't do it, because
Yeah. Well, or
that is
being a
my pet
racist too,
peeve.
right? Or to be a racist, right? It's just no needed. So yeah, I would say, if anybody, and I don't even know if it's come out yet because I saw it at a film festival in September, almost October. So when it comes out, whoever gets a chance to see the movie Flea, I highly recommend it. Be prepared to cry your eyes out for pretty much all of it.
I'm going to be actively looking for it. So
Nice.
I'll feature it on my I Saw Everything um segment.
Nice.
I will, cuz it, you know, I like going out and experiencing new movies. So, yeah, I'm all the way down. I saw an animated film that made me cry my eyes out too, and I've been talking about it online all the time, and it's Encanto.
Yes, I know. You love that movie, yeah.
I've been,
That's
I've been I've
awesome.
been all over Twitter talking about the way Encanto made me ugly cry through like the entire thing. When I say I
Nice.
felt both seen and attacked at the same time.
I
So
love movies like that. You're not expected to go see an animated feature and go, why am I? It's like Up for me too. The first time I saw Up, I'm like, who, Disney? What in the heck are you
it's
doing? You
like,
put a movie out where I'm crying the first 20 minutes of this
Jesus,
movie.
Disney, we're just like, why do you hate me?
Yes.
But
It's like they took the scene from Bambi's mother dying and extended it for like half the movie or the whole movie.
but so you and Bryce and have
Murray.
Mike Murray
Murray.
Murray
The
you
merman.
you
The
Murray
merman.
and Bryce have a way that which you rank these movies, right?
Yes.
You have Mondo, and
Yep.
then
Meh.
Meh,
Meh. And rage. That's
and
right.
Rage. So give me your most memorable Mondo, Meh, and what movie just made you rage.
Um well, I guess I'm not gonna cheat and say um Flea, because it's obviously my most Mondo film of last year. But I will tell you my favorite movie of all time. How's that?
Okay, that works for me.
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you two. Usually, I don't let people get away with when they say I want to only know one, and they say, "Well, I have two." Well, you can't have two; you can only have one. But in my case, I'm going to do two. So one is my absolute favorite movie of all time, which is the original Dawn of the Dead. And um, to me, this movie it's again, it's another one of those things that changed film, and it came to me at a point in my life when I was very young. I was, I think, 12 or 11 when it came out. So you can tell how old I am. And it was from my love of horror, and it spawned my love of zombies, which has been my favorite subgenre of horror ever since. So that's probably my biggest mondo is that. But if I go outside of the horror genre, because other than horror, and actually as I've aged, my favorite type of movie now is actually international dramas. So not just traditional, English speaking dramas. I much prefer seeing other countries' origin of dramas. And so my favorite drama, which is also somewhat of a comedy slash love story, is the movie Amelie. So if you haven't seen the movie Amelie,
I've seen it.
isn't it great?
I watched it and I was like, oh, she's high key weird. She's kind of a stalker. I was like,
yes.
But like, I felt that though, being, being too feeling like removed from the world and having to like watch it happen. Like I felt it, but I also felt like, oh, she's high key a little bit of a stalker there.
Yeah. Well, it was a mystery for her, right? Who is this person? And then it's like a it's like everything rolled into one movie. It's like it's got comedy, it's got love, it's got some great musical scores. It's just heartwarming. Whenever I'm depressed, I just throw on that movie and I'm just like, I'm back, baby.
It is feel good, and I think it's adorable that the guy she ended up with, like he was like, okay, you're a little kooky, I can dig it. Like he accepted her exactly as is, and
Yep.
I love that so much for her.
Yep. You don't get like, and that's why I have this love of international. Lately, we've been seeing quite a few international films that it's really a cultural, like you're really into the culture of that specific location. It's to me, I want to grow and learn. I don't have this comfort of rewatching the next Friday the 13th movie that's come out, or you know what I mean? Like I know a lot of people are in love with nostalgia. That is, I want to see new content all the time, and I want it to be different. I don't want to watch a rewrite of a movie I saw last year.
I feel like a lot of the new movies are like that. It sucks, but I was like, huh, this is the era
What we
we
get.
live in. This is what we get. But
But it doesn't have to be that way.
no,
Look
it
at
doesn't.
look at Parasite that won the best Oscar a couple of years ago.
You
Right?
I watched it. Like I will be honest, it wasn't quite for me because I just it just wasn't my kind of story. The
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
story where you
But
kind of
have you
hate
seen
everybody.
anything? Yes, of course. But have you seen a movie like that? That's what I'm saying, is that this is what's going on in this Korean director's mind space when he made that film. And I love that. It's like we've been seeing a bunch of Indonesian films lately, and you get to see what's in the minds of what's happening in Indonesia, or in Poland, or
I
Iran or Israel. It's just so different than what we live with in
I
North
love it
America.
when we get to see the world through the lens of someone else. And
Yes.
that's where I will agree with you. Like I like foreign films for that. I don't get to go traveling because pandemic, but we do get to see films from like all over the world.
Yeah.
Back when I was in high school, I watched a French film that kind of gave me a different look at a political situation. It gave me a different lens of like imperialism, colonization. It's a French film
Mhm.
called Indochine.
Yeah, it's a great film.
It is, right? And my teacher picked it only because it was a French film with no nudity. So,
Which is very rare to find. Those French like to get nude, baby.
but you know what? It was it was so much more than that. This film was like a turning point film for me in terms of foreign films, because I spoke Tagalog, Spanish, and English, and that was kind of like my comfort zone, but this film told me that there was so much more out there. And so,
Nice.
you know,
Nice.
now for the last 5 minutes of the show, I'm going to
We
need you to
dance.
tell me about what film made you rage.
Ooh, well, there's a current joke on our podcast because really every episode we try and get a rage. So we have a segment that's called Rage or Dare, and we get our audience. We've got a bag of movies that I've collected over the last couple of years where people will buy us a terrible movie to watch and force us to watch it. So we have a bag. I don't know. There's probably 50 movies in there, and so every week we either can pick from that bag, or you choose. Bryce would choose from my bag, or I would choose from his bag, or we can choose this dare bag from our listeners. And every week, usually when I pick it's always terrible. But the worst movie I've seen on our show is the movie 9 Lives. I absolutely hated that movie more than anything I've ever seen. It was so much torture. It was awful. Yeah, for me, that's got to be the worst
I don't
one.
even remember which one I picked. I know I picked one for the
Yeah, you
bag.
did.
I just can't even
I
remember
know.
what it was.
I can't. I actually think it was one that we didn't rage at as much. I think maybe you hated it, and we didn't hate it as much. I think it didn't get a rage. I think it got a meh. I remember that. It's like, come on, Juleen, you could do better than that.
Yeah, probably.
I
But
think you were being nice to us. I think is what it was.
yeah, probably. Because I'll tell you, like, my rage movie it legitly makes me angry, and it's Dangerous Minds.
Oh
Like,
God.
I hate that movie so much.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
I was just
It's
like,
not as bad as 9 Lives. Once you've seen 9 Lives, you've seen true terror.
oh geez, see, and I'm torn between when your friends tell you, hey, smell this, and it's like the worst smell ever, but you owe them a courtesy sniff. If you're a real friend, you owe the courtesy sniff. And then
Yes.
and then next time you smell something awful, you could be like, hey dude, smell this. And now I'm feeling like this is the movie version of the courtesy sniff, where I might have to go watch 9 Lives just to concur that it is the worst movie.
Oh man, my nephew, just to end on a pretty funny joke. When he was 10, he came and stayed and visited with us, and he had this. The very first time it happened, we were driving in our car, and he did a fart that was got to be the stinkiest fart on the planet. But of course we didn't know this. He says, "Hey, do you guys smell that?" And we're like, "What?" He's like, "It smells like popcorn." I'm like, "Who doesn't want to smell popcorn?" So of course all of us in the car went, and I'm just like, "Dude, where did you come up with that from?" To this day, that's our family joke. Is if you let a fart out, it's like, "Hey,
Listen,
do you smell popcorn?"
hey, this is for him. That was fantastic. That was the best pull my finger prank ever. He said popcorn. I'm weak. Oh my god.
And there's nobody that doesn't like the smell of popcorn. I've never met anybody.
I'm telling you. So it says, oh, you smell popcorn? I'm like, really? And then I'm gonna be like, listen, no, that was not cool. You just played with my emotions. I wanted popcorn, damn it.
That's anti-popcorn.
I was like, that's not popcorn. That's shit. That's absolute shit. I'll turn into an entire Gordon Ramsay. Oh my god.
Nice.
Thank you so much. Now tell everybody where they can find you. I really appreciate you taking the time to just come talk about you. I bet you didn't think that you would be the topic of this conversation, huh?
I didn't. Normally, people don't let me talk. I usually talk too much. So yeah, thanks for having me on. It's always brings joy to my heart when I get to see you and listen to your sweet voice. So people can find us on all social media at Film Rage YYC. We have an amazing website which people should check out at filmrageYYC.com, and you can just go on the interwebby thingy searchy button things and search Film Rage Podcast. Will pop up 27 different locations. So that's us.
That's dope. Thank you so much for taking the time. Like, I will never forget it. Dude, if y'all don't know, just all you wine o'clockers, all you OG wine o'clockers, listen, I had like 200 followers on Twitter, right? And I was like, I gotta get to 500, and then I want to get to 1,000. And then Jim was like, I got you, fam. And he shared me everywhere. So listen, tune into Film Rage. You will not be disappointed. I even did an episode on Film Rage and had a blast.
We had fun.
Yeah, we did Boondock Saints. It was my favorite film. And I got to learn about another film, which was really interesting. It was like oh my gosh. I remember it because it was a really cool movie. It was about like a rancher that was homosexual, and he was trying to come out.
He was angry.
Yeah, and he
was raging.
Yeah, and he was an angry dude. All right, so let me go ahead. Listen, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Make sure you tune into It Goes Down in the PM and chime in on Twitter at It Go Down in the PM. And you could reach out to at It Goes Down in the PM at Mom Is Always Right. That's WRITE. And hit up my link tree. Review us on Podchaser. Show me love. Oh, and your girl needs a dongle, so buy me a coffee too.
Nice.
All right. And I'm back. Here's what's going down in the PM. It's a sad day in the rock and roll community. Taylor Hawkins, the drummer of the Foo Fighters, passed away late this evening. The coroner says there were drugs in his system, but has not confirmed his cause of death. And also very sad news for Kanye West. Kanye is dropped from the Grammy list, the Grammy performance list, as a result of his concerning online behavior. That was the reason they dropped him from the Grammys. So there's also a petition with thousands of signatures. Or I believe they are almost up to 1 million. There's a petition to drop him from Coachella. So Kanye's having a tough day, but I mean, what can I say, bud? That's what happens when you're a racist dick. When you say racist things, you get dropped from the Grammys, and you get people petition to remove you from Coachella. Shit happens, my guy. My bad. Sorry. All right. So here's that video that was of a man just downing interracial relationships, and I'm gonna watch it in real time.
As you all know, Judge Jackson has been nominated to the U.S. Supreme Court, and she's going through hearings now before the U.S. Senate. And today, one of my friends on Facebook posted this picture, and it just raised some questions for me. As we all know, the first Black vice president, Kamala Harris, is married to a white man, and you have this sister here who will be the first Black woman Supreme Court justice. She's married to a white man. And my question is, what kind of message does this send to young Black girls to see these prominent, trailblazing, pioneering Black women both married to white men? And the other thing that I wondered is, why is it that all of the justices that have been appointed to the Supreme Court were married to non-Black people?
Are you fucking serious? What a fucking asshole. First of all, like, it really doesn't matter. Women are gonna choose whoever they choose. They're gonna choose the partner that supports them the most. You know, it's not like she sat there and specifically said, you know what, I'm gonna choose a white man today. She's gonna choose the partner that makes sure that she's set. I'm pretty sure she's going to choose a partner that looks out for her, supports her on her journey. And I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that this woman has been with her husband for 25 years. Like, they were college sweethearts and the whole nine. So, you know, you sound real fucking stupid right now. And then the fact that in the other video, you doubled down and was like, oh, for those of you who say love is love, you don't have a clue. I really don't believe you really went on TikTok and was like, this sounds real good. I should put this up. Do you honestly believe, because your words, you said, women get with white men because they are programmed to favor whiteness. Is that something you truly believe? Like, do you honestly think that you have a shot with this beautiful, strong, educated black woman if she was not with her husband? Instead of criticizing who we choose instead of you, I think maybe you should worry about, like, working on you. It could be a you thing, or, you know, just saying, because we are not going to be out here and say, you know what, I want to be the VP today. I think I'm just gonna, you know, I think I'm gonna marry a white man to be the VP. I'm 100% certain that was not Kamala Harris' full thought process when she married the husband she married. So the fact that you are trying to talk shit on interracial relationships simply because you feel some type of way that these prominent women are married to white men say more about you than it does about them. And, you know, for you to tell people, oh, well, you're clueless, you know, sit down. Please sit down. Sit down. You look stupid. And then, you know, where I would question whether or not you were a fucking dummy and an asshole, you opened your mouth and, like, confirmed that you're ignorant. You're canceled. So, good luck, friend. Good luck. I hope you work all of that out. I mean, because that's definitely a you problem.
I want to thank the Academy.
Yo, stop the presses. Did this just fucking happen? Yo, check out this moment from the Oscars, y'all. This is so wild. Check this shit out and tell me what you think.
But now, let's please welcome Chris Rock.
Yes.
You are a douche.
Wow,
bag.
what a night. Everybody, no one's wearing a mask. Just breathing raw dog tonight.
His face looks weird. It's like half his face is just like numb or something. He should have gotten like the Botox like a day prior or something.
I love the part where it said, King Lear don't got nothing on me. Y'all gotta see it. It's really good. You know who's got the hardest job tonight?
Yeah.
Javier
Wait
Bardem
for it.
and his wife are both nominated.
Bruh, you were not
Now,
funny.
if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
I know he didn't.
That was a nice one.
Watch
Okay.
this shit. Watch this
I'm
shit.
out here. Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Yes, he did, because you were an asshole. That joke was an asshole joke. That. Tell him, Will.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay?
Shit.
Okay.
I am honestly relieved to see this because, you know, the man's defending his wife. Yeah, black women are not protected. They're always disrespected. I mean, and not that long ago, we saw that incident with a certain Tommy Sotomayor where he disrespected, degraded, and assaulted a black woman. And the men held her because they say she hit first. But the way he was aggressively in her space, I honestly thought he was going to put hands on her first. And he didn't. She hit him. I would have hit him too, but then he went and grabbed her. So it's like I feel overwhelmed with so many public incidents of disrespect towards black women. It is so nice to see a man stand up for his wife. And I'm sorry, everybody disagrees with me, and I might be screaming into a void, but Chris Rock deserved that shit. He deserved that slap, and you know what? I was all the way here for it, and I was cheering Team Will all fucking day. Thanks for joining us at 1 o'clock, and that's what went down in the PM. As usual, if I offended you, fuck you. It's a joke, not a dick. Don't take it so hard.
Goodbye.